Caught between dreams. There's a moment just before waking when reality blurs with dreams, and it was during this fragile period that I first noticed them. The strangers in my dreams seemed harmless at first, just faces in an ever-changing crowd, until they began to take on a sharper focus, their eyes locking with mine in unsettling recognition. I dismissed it as stress-induced nightmares, but then I started seeing them on the streets during my morning commute. At first, it was just a fleeting glance or an accidental brush of shoulders, but soon, their presence became more deliberate, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I work in a bustling city, where anonymity is the norm, but these strangers, now frighteningly familiar, seem to find me in the most crowded places. One particularly chilling morning, a man from my dreams sat across from me on the subway, his gaze unwavering. He leaned in, whispering my name with a familiarity that sent icy tendrils of fear crawling up my spine. My heart pounded as I hurried off at the next stop, convincing myself it was just a bizarre coincidence. But the encounters grew more frequent, each one more unsettling than the last, until I couldn't ignore the reality that these people knew me, knew my life in disturbing detail. Desperation led me to seek answers. I began documenting my dreams, hoping to find a pattern or a clue to explain this uncanny phenomenon. As I delved deeper, I unearthed a chilling realization: the strangers weren't just recognizing me, they were communicating with each other, orchestrating their appearances in my life. My dreams became darker, more vivid, with whispered warnings and cryptic messages about a looming danger, and each morning I awoke feeling more trapped in their web. I was losing control, my waking life blurring with the nightmares that now haunted every corner of my existence. In a final, terrifying confrontation, I found myself cornered in an alley by a woman who had featured prominently in my dreams. Her expression was one of pity, and she reached out, her touch cold and lifeless. "We tried to warn you," she murmured, her voice echoing with an otherworldly resonance. And then, with a jolt of horror, I understood: the strangers weren't intruders in my world, I was the intruder in theirs. I watched helplessly as the dreamscape folded around me, pulling me into its depths, leaving behind an empty shell walking through the city streets. The strangers had claimed me, and my life was now just a memory, fading like a forgotten dream.